Hey there, it's 5:45. I don't know why I wake up this early on a weekend. But anyway, I got this one on low, got this one on low. There's some dog treats. And every hour I'll come in and mush it up. I'll show you that part when I come do it. And later, I put these out because they were really frozen. And I put these out over and then and separated them so they could kind of sit in the refrigerator overnight, separated. So we're going to cook those up later. Okay, so for this portion, we're going to be doing our pork steaks. I got a Big Bertha here. I'm using avocado oil. My bacon grease smelled kind of funny. But anyway, I broke out Big Bertha and I got to get her kind of heated up and oiled up and all that good stuff. We're going to use the, I pulled out the actual container so I can have a little more control. It's the garlic and herb, black pepper and sea salt, and Dano's spicy. I feel like I have more control with these versus the little spoons. So these have been sitting out since I started this morning. But anyway, so here's one. There's the other. And cover it. Oh, no, not bake. I'm going to do 4 minutes and 4 minutes, both sides, but covered on both sides. Except I forgot to season it. Hello. Now, I'll leave that covered for 4 minutes. It's been 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and flip them. There we go. Season them up. I got my Caleb playing in the background. Hopefully, you know, I always worry that it'll silence my my volume. But okay, 4 more minutes. Oop. And then we'll see how it's looking then. All right. So that looks pretty good to me. So now I'm gonna get the rest of these done that same way. Okay, so while I got my last batch finishing up, and I took the eggs. I got 12 eggs, and I whisked them up with an electric whisker. And this is 2/3 cup because I don't know how much these things hold. So I got to make 6 of them. So well there. I guess I should have wrapped the cookie sheet, but that's all right. I'm not necessarily known for being super clean and neat in the kitchen, am I, y'all? So what I'm going to do is I'm trying out to see what it's like for 3 eggs instead of 2 eggs and an egg wrap, because I hate making 2 trips. I did check out the website for ordering egg life wraps, but it's $20 shipping unless you order $50 worth, and that's not in my budget at this time. So eggs are in my, I can definitely pick up a couple dozen eggs whenever I'm at Walmart. So I'm just trying to get everything to be in one store. So And I did not add these already. This is 14 grams. This is actually 80, I think it's 84 grams. Oh, hang on. Let me flip the last pork. Just a second here. What I did was I went through and I cut out the bones from all the pork steaks. And then I gave the raw bones to the dogs. Don't judge me. I had a dog who was on a raw meat diet for 3 years because of her allergies, and it worked out well. She ate pork all the time. So anyway, okay, so these, like I said, the eggs, this is 18 eggs. So each of these muffins is going to be 3 eggs. And I did not put these bacon pieces in them because sometimes when you do stuff like that, it ends up at the bottom, and I didn't want it to end up at the bottom of the bowl. So this is not very scientific for how many bacon pieces are in each one, but in the end it'll average out. So I could have been a little more accurate, but that's all right. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to put, this is like, not even, I don't know, this is those sun-dried tomatoes. And it's not even a full serving it's going to be a full serving in each of these eggs because there's just not enough. It'll be just enough to be a couple pieces in each one. And that's good enough for me. There we go. Get over here. Get over here. There we go. So that'll be that. Cheese. I gotta do some cheese. Hold on. It's gonna be 3 total servings because I do half of a serving in each one. So let me measure this out for 3 servings just a second. All right, this is 3 servings. So I'm gonna try to do about a half serving in each one. And I'm going to stir it in with my knife. You know these are going to grow. So that's what they did last time. There we go. I'm just going to stir it just a little bit. And then we're going to put them in the oven. I think they were like 40 minutes last week. And these are even bigger, so it might take a little longer. I'm trying to scoop off the extra stuff. Alright, so now I'm going to put these in the oven. I'll do 40 minutes and see how it goes. I'm going to deglaze it with a little masala wine. Maybe. Okay. Now I do not have any heavy cream, I don't think. So this is just going to be some deglaze to pour over the pork. I don't think I have any. I'm going to check, but I don't think I have any heavy cream, which is fine. Got some broth from last time I did meal prep for the meat. I'm gonna put a little of that broth down in there. I'm gonna put the lid on here. Bit of Greek seasoning to this. A little bit more Greek seasoning. I'm going to add some dehydrated garlic. And I'm going to add some dehydrated onions also. Whoa. I'm just going to let that simmer a little bit and reduce it while that's going through all that. So I guess it'll just be like the pork gravy without flour. So I'm going to make a reduction here. And I'm going to turn this down and just let it simmer. In the meantime, I'll cut up this. And I need to do the beef. Hold on. Okay, so it's been about two hours. And now I'm just going to come in and start chopping it up. I did not add liquid to it. This is at 73%, so it makes liquid pretty fast from the fat. And some of it's still frozen down there, so I can't chop through it yet. All right, I'm going to clean this off better. And then I'm going to cut up my pork. And I'll let you all know what the portion, how many ounces it has to be. So I'm going to cut up some pork steaks. I'm doing them right here. I used to use forks all the time to cut my meat. But dadgum, I use scissors. I don't know what I'm talking about. I used to use scissors, but the scissors are all dull. Not sure what the deal is. So, come on here. See how this tastes. Yep, that's good. That looks good. So now I'm just going to cut it up into bite-sized pieces. If you are somebody who does not like to log, and after this 2 weeks you're not going to continue logging, that's something you can consider doing to make sure you stay consistent. Is just make sure your meals and your all your foods and everything, just make sure they're all similar in whatever measurement you're looking at. Then you don't have to do anything. And I also think what I might do is, I think I'm going to use that reduction instead as a glaze and kind of toss these all in it, and then cook it after my eggs are done. Cook it bake it in the oven like on in the broil, and let it cook that way. So then it can kind of glaze the pork. And realistically, there's not a bunch of stuff in that, for me to have to count or add, because it was some broth and a little bit of wine. But I didn't add, I didn't add any flour like you do with gravy. I didn't add any heavy cream like you do with gravy. So I didn't add all the things that make it a bunch more calories. So I can use that as my own kind of glaze. And then I can, like I said, put it under the broiler and let it kind of glaze my meat on its own. But I gotta wait till my eggs are done. I think they have a good 30 minutes left. So I'm just gonna kind of set these over here to the side. And wash this off. And my cast iron skillet. I need to do some cleaning over here. So Bertha is clean. Now I've washed her out. She's good and clean. Now I'm going to dry her off. Make sure all this under here is clean. And Turn it upside down and turn the burner on like medium for about 15 minutes. Whoa. All right, and while I do that, I'm gonna wash this off. So Alexa says that my eggs have 3 minutes left on the timer. So I'm gonna pull them out so we can take a look at them. They rose up about that much. That's funny. I'm gonna get something to stick in them. Just go straight into a big one. Yeah, it's just moist, not like egg yolky or eggy. Just checking them all. Ooh, now that one's eggy. Well, how's the little one eggy? Well, we'll let it go another 5 minutes. The eggs, I've got it set for about 8 minutes. And while I've got that, I'm going to go on and pour this over my pieces. All right, let's get serious now. This way we know it's all over it, and this way I don't tear the foil. The whole point of the foil is because this pan is so big, it's hard to wash in my dishwasher. And let's face it, heaven forbid I have to wash dishes by hand again. So this has got it nice and coated. And it's just going to sit there in this. It's already cooked. It's just going to be a matter of going under the broiler for 2-3 minutes. Let me taste one little piece that I think is pretty, yeah. Oh, man. Ooh, that's gonna be good. Yep. So now, it's gonna sit here because my eggs have 6 minutes left. Then I'll come back and show you what I do with this and the eggs too. So Bertha's good and dry, so I'm gonna flip it over. And I've got some flaxseed oil that I use for it. Because Cowboy Kent Rollins, if you don't follow him, you should. He's an old cowboy, and he's actually I say cowboy, he's a cook. So like Cookie from the Westerns, he did that for a living. He went out with the cowboys and he cooked out on the range. He had his own little thing that he took with him, and he cooked from a oven, like the old wood stove oven. And anyway, so he does a lot of cast iron stuff. That's what he needed to, out away from civilization. And but he does his. Now he would kill me for using a paper towel, but he does his. He uses flaxseed oil. So it's heated up, so all the pores should be open. Now I've got that in there. I'm just going to turn the burner off and let it kind of come to room. Oop, I think I see a pool. And I'm going to let it come to room temperature. And that's just kind of my way of keeping it nice and seasoned and ready for the next time I use it. Just let her sit here and come to room temperature. Good old Bertha. She's a good old girl. Okay, I've turned the oven up to 400. No, wait, I said I was going to do broil, didn't I? Hang on. Clear, broil, high. Let me pull the eggs out so they don't get broiled. Well, that was dumb. I just opened it, and now it's all blowing hot air in my face. I'm going to set that right there for a minute. Now we'll let it broil, pull up to temperature, and then we'll put this in there. I want to let these eggs cool before I do anything with them, so they can just hang out right there. And as soon as my oven beeps that it's ready to broil, we'll put the pork steak bites in. Okay, I'm gonna put these under the broiler. I did a look, and 9 ounces of pork steak is 681 calories, where, hang on, wait, I'll do 4 minutes, where 8 ounces of 70% ground beef is 680 calories. So there are 8 ounces of the beef, 9 ounces of the pork. So I'll do 9 ounces, so that way I don't have to do anything. It's already plugged in as a favorite. Look how much these have shrank. They were about that big at starting, and now they're like down about that much. So they definitely shrink as they cool down. So we'll get ready. Let's try to pop one out and see how they go. Oh yeah, they're gonna come out easy, but they're gonna cause me to cuss because they're hot. So just in case my mama's watching, I better just set them somewhere to cool down, so that way I don't cuss and my mama don't have to call and yell at me. So I'm gonna put these in the refrigerator to finish cooling. Yeah, that looks good. That looks real good. Yeah, buddy. I might actually, I don't want it to get tough, but I wouldn't mind doing it in there for another 2 minutes. Just to kind of make it be a little crispier. So, yeah, I'm going to do it for 2 more minutes. That's numb. Very, very nummy. Alright. I'll do 3 minutes. Alright. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Okay, I think she's finally done. I washed out my little saucepan back there. Let me move that over there to dry. Ooh, yeah, this is. Look how crispy those are going to be. Let's see. Can't clear everything off. Yeah, clear off the timer. Yeah. Can you see that? Those look almost seared. I'm trying to see if I can zoom in. Look at that. Yum, yum. So I'm definitely going to let that cool for a little while. And then I'll put it in containers in 9 ounce servings. Hang on. I think I see a pool again. Okay. In 9 ounce servings, and I'll show you those when they're done. Okay. So I did this the second time, and you can see it's starting to get brown. It's easier. I did this already because you'll find that it starts getting more done around the outer edges, and it takes 2 hands to do it as it cooks. So you definitely want to chop up the outer edges, because that's where it starts becoming a solid meatloaf first. And then as it cooks more, it comes off this thing a lot easier. So yeah, every hour until this is done. So I bagged up all the other muffins. This is the last one. This is how it looks. And then what I did was I put it in this baggie, and I'll have more over here. I'll show you in just a second. But I'm going to bag it up, but I wanted you to see how it looks up close. So it's a crispy outside, which I'm sure is the cheese, but all the bacon went to the bottom, which I figured it might do. If I drop this, I'm going to wring my neck. But it all went to the bottom, so this part's going to be eggy and that part will be bacony. But hang on, I'll show you the other part. All right, so here's these are the pork bites. This is 9 ounces serving, so I made 7. So I'll have 7 days worth of one meal. And then these are all the egg bites. I made 6 of them, as you saw. So I'll put however many in the refrigerator. I think I have 1 day in there, so I'll put 3 of them in there and then the other 3 in the freezer. And then I'll put my lids on these. I just wanted you to see how good those look, man. Don't those look delicious? All right, I'm gonna start with my ground beef. I do 8 ounces of the 73%. So I think I said this the other day. I used to strain out the, I used to strain out the rendered fat, and I never had any trouble with nausea at that time. And if it is my gallbladder that's having issues, it would be better for my gallbladder to not have that added fat. I mean, there's fat in there. There's plenty of fat, so it's not like I'm going lean or anything. This is 73% ground beef, you know. But not all the fat renders out. But anyway, so I'm going to go back to what I did before and just do 8 ounces of the meat and whatever fat is attached to the meat. So that's what I'm going to do. Just do 8 ounces, and that'll be that. Some containers are going to be these. I don't have as many as a bunch of them are in the dishwasher, but I need to pick up a few more from Walmart. But so some of them are going to be little smaller ones. So you'll see these this week, and then these little, and some of these. I'll be using those as well. So anyway, so I'm going to work on this, and I'll show you when I'm done. So here's what we got. We have 24 servings of 8 ounces of 73% ground beef. So 24 servings. That was 2 of those big boys. So 2 of those 10-pound things. That would get me 24. That would get me through 12 days. So that's almost a full 2 weeks worth of meal prep. So by adding the pork steaks, it made 6 of the pork steaks. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 pork steaks. So 24, Lord. 20. So that got me 28 days. So I have 28, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Yeah. So that's 15 days worth of food because I use 2 each day. So I've got 15 days worth of food. So I will not have to meal prep next week. I might have to do veggies, but not meat. And then I've got 4 containers of broth that I'll be able to use for the dogs. No, not 4. Good grief. I've got 8 containers of broth that I'll be able to use in the dog's food. So there we go. 8 containers of broth and 30 servings of suppers and lunches.